They're here. Happy Halloween!
Ooh.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
We are back in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, the birthplace of Discover with Katie and Andrew in its original form.
Oh, we are back out just for a few days, and we came up here to do something specific. And that specific thing is go find some horror movie houses.
Yep, we are horror movie fans. We like a good spooky story. So we thought it'd be fun to come to what I consider the US capital of horror and find some famous horror houses to show everybody. And hopefully it'll inspire you guys to come on your own horror tour of LA.
The first place we decided to start our tour is on Carroll Street, which is near downtown LA.
And this might be one of the most iconic horror-esque houses of LA, the Thriller House.
So everyone knows Michael Jackson, Thriller, the iconic music video, maybe even still the greatest music video ever made. And at the end of the, yes, you got that. But you know the part where he picks up the girl from the house and then he does that magic turn at the end and he still has the eyes? That was filmed here on Carroll Street. So let's go check out the house.
Carroll Street is a really unique street in LA because it looks different than a lot of LA. It is all old 1800s Victorian homes. They're these beautiful, old, multi-story, very intricate Victorian homes, almost like you'd see in New England or, you know, maybe San Francisco, but LA, you know, it was built primarily in the 50s, so you get a lot of ranch-style homes. And so it's really cool to come to this neighborhood because you do get a lot of those kind of like, I don't want to say like haunted house looking houses.
But they are haunted looking houses.
Yeah, totally. We're walking by the Charmed house right now, by the way.
Also kind of spooky.
Yeah, also kind of
spooky. But not on the tour.
Not on the tour, but Charmed, great show. And I feel like it is also in the spooky realm, hence why it's in this neighborhood. Here we are at the iconic Thriller house from probably the most famous music video of all time. I mean, how long was the Thriller music video? Wasn't it about 30 minutes?
It's like 13.
Yeah, 13. I mean, 13, how spooky.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but maybe it was 13 minutes. But right behind us, we have the Thriller house, and it's one of my favorite houses on the block, not just because it's the Thriller house, but because it's kind of in disrepair. They are going through some renovations, and so it looks more creepy, more haunted. It's the home of that iconic dance that you saw Michael Jackson do with all of the undead. Insert my dance here.
I was a complete scaredy cat as a kid. I hated horror movies, but this was something I definitely was shown at some point in my childhood. And I thought the dancing part was cool, even though the zombies were a little creepy. The coolest, creepiest thing I remember was the ending when he would turn and then his eyes would still be those creepy like cat eyes, almost like he was the zombie or whatever he was. And that freaked me out because I thought he was normal, maybe he was back, but nope, he was forever the evil monster. So I'll never forget as a kid seeing that and being freaked out. So thanks parents for scarring me in my childhood.
So I'm not sure if this is where Andrew saw it as well, but I remember Thriller because it used to air around Halloween time on the Disney Channel. And it would be like this 30-minute block, you know, because it was a really long music video and they played the thing in its entirety. But that's where I remember it from. So thank you, Disney Channel, for potentially giving Andrew those nightmares. Thriller, thriller night. Do, 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 do.
All right, Kitty, got a few hours of sunlight left. Where are we heading next?
We are headed to a nightmare.
To a nightmare on
Elm Street. Well, not really on Elm Street.
No,
but you'll get
it's
the
on
gist.
like Orange Grove or something. But it's in the middle of Hollywood, so time to go to Hollywood.
behind me, we have a nightmare. A nightmare on Elm Street. Well, on Genesee Street. But behind us is the classic house from A Nightmare on Elm Street. We've been here actually before, and the owners have since put hedges and whatnot around the home, but it still has the classic kind of symmetrical look of the home. And you probably remember the famous red door, which was probably the most iconic part of the house, was this very stark, like almost a tomato red door. They have since painted it, but they still like to do little homages here. So we've been here where they've had Freddy's famous striped sweater hanging out of the window. And if you look really close, it's really hard to see, but they have Freddy peeking out of the blind. So in the upper window, you can actually see that the blinds are a little kind of broken apart, and that's Freddy peeking through. So I want to correct myself. So at closer look behind the hedge, it is indeed the red door. So the red door lives on in your dreams and in real life.
All right, Katie, two-parter question.
Okay.
Who is your favorite horror villain? First, we're gonna go classic Universal monsters, and second, just all of the horror movies ever. Who's your like evil monster villain, or whoever you'd like to choose?
So my favorite classic Universal horror monster is hands down Dracula. I want to suck your blood.
I love Frankenstein. I love that movie. I think he's got an awesome, like, sympathetic story. He's just great.
And you like him because he's tall.
And he's tall.
And Andrew's very tall. For those of you who don't know Andrew in person, he's 6'3".
As you can see, if you put it up to me, you can't see Katie. All right, so who's overall your just favorite horror person?
Favorite person from a horror film?
Yeah, favorite villain.
It's got to be Norman Bates.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I like Norman Bates because he has a really kind of weird, creepy storyline. One, he has the iconic killing someone in a shower, which is like iconic. Two, he has like the whole thing where like he dressed up his mother's corpse. Like, Norman had a lot of depth. And fun fact, everybody, I used to work at Universal Studios, and I actually used to work with Norman Bates by the Bates Motel and by the house.
There you go. Just a couple blocks away from where we saw Freddy Krueger and his house. Come north and you get my favorite horror villain, Michael Myers. So with the original Halloween, the end battle, when you had Jamie Lee Curtis and she was babysitting good old Tommy Doyle, this house was home to the iconic battle at the end, where you had the coat hanger, you had the closet, you had the knife, everything like that. That was here. So she did the epic battle. That also would have been the spot where Michael Myers fell off of the balcony, but as you can see, there's no more balcony and it's completely under remodel, but it's still iconic that it's here. And what's also cool is if you turn around, right across the street over here is the babysitter's house across the street where her friend was babysitting. So it's all right in that correct, cool little neighborhood. And again, you go just a couple blocks away that way, and you get to Freddy Krueger and Nightmare on Elm Street house. So lots of horror in just a small little radius. Super exciting. And again, if you come at Halloween, you'll see people everywhere, people dressed up in their Halloween finest. You probably will even see a Michael Myers or a Freddy Krueger walking around, but it's always fun to come out and see it, especially during Halloween time.
Who can take tomorrow, dip it in a dream, separate the sorrow and collect up all the cream. The Candyman, the Candyman, oh the Candyman can. Wrong one.
We made it over the Hollywood Hills into Studio City for our next iconic horror movie house. And this one is a little creepy. Do you remember the beginning of the movie Candyman? That couple was trying to recount the Candyman in the mirror and say his name 5 times. Well, this is that house. So please, if you do live there, never look in the mirror and say that name, because we don't want him to come back.
Don't do it anywhere.
Don't do it anywhere.
Be careful how many times you say it. They're here. We are here in Simi Valley, California, which is easily the farthest of our horror movie houses. It's about 20 minutes or so outside of Burbank, up to an hour depending on the traffic here in LA. But this is the famous house where little Carol Ann and the fuzzy TV all happened. And as you probably know in the movie, they were building the house on an ancient, Indian burial ground. And as you can see from the neighborhood, the entire neighborhood is now built up. But this is the actual house from Poltergeist, and it's kind of creepy. We're here at night. Even though the house demolished at the end of the movie, you can see it is still standing here in all of its horror movie glory.
Good morning. We had to keep going on our tour of iconic LA horror houses, and this is maybe one of the most iconic of all and definitely the busiest, but we got here nice and early so there's no one else around. In South Pasadena, we have the Michael Myers house. So this is the actual Myers house, the one that was the abandoned one that nobody wanted to go in and from the beginning of the movie. They since moved it. I don't remember where it was originally, but it's now here in South Pasadena, right next to the train tracks. It's a business. I think it's a real estate office, but it's super cool. You'll see people around all day long getting their pictures and videos. So if you're ever in South Pasadena, come check it out. And a cool thing actually is the neighbors of the financial office have actually really embraced it and turned it into a museum right around. So let's go over there and check it out. You now have a museum, the Sugarmint Gallery. And you can even see Michael himself up in the tree.
Right next to the Michael Myers original house here in South Pasadena, we have what's called the Sugarmint Gallery, which is really leaned in to Halloween. They're kind of your hub in LA for all things Halloween. They sell maps of the filming location tours, but you guys can also just watch our video to get those. But a cool thing is they also have movies, so it's around Halloween time. So as you can see, they are going to be showing pretty much every Halloween movie over the next few weeks. So you have everything from Halloween, Halloween 2, the new Halloween that came out in 2018. They're going to be showing it all. So if you're a Halloween super fan, Sugarmint Gallery is a must. We are here at Laurie's house from Halloween, where no murders happened, but it was where she was stalked. So if you look behind us, the house is still fully intact, and they have the pumpkins here for pictures for all the fans to come see. So super fun. I'm definitely gonna get some pictures.
Speaking of Halloween stalking, one more iconic place we gotta head to. Let's go.
No horror movie house tour here in LA could be complete without the iconic Michael Myers hedge. We all saw the scene where he came out from behind this giant hedge, and he was a pretty big guy, so to see him come out from behind the hedge and just totally surprise and shock us all in the film and give us all nightmares for years to come, we had to swing by. We had to come close out the tour at a spot that is very close to both of our hearts, Universal Studios, where both of us used to work.
And on the lot, although we don't have tickets in to go to the theme park today, you can see very, very, very subtly right down there, the Psycho House.
Yep.
The most iconic of all the horror houses.
Yep, so this is the actual Psycho House. It's on the Universal lot. It's next to the Bates Motel as well. You can see it on the Universal Studios tram tour, where you can go around. Sometimes you might even catch a glimpse of Norman Bates.
It's Norman Bates. I really think I'm going to ask about... Oh, no. Oh no. Cut it out. Not with the knife. I just mean stop what you're doing.
And right now it's a really cool time because they're having Halloween horror nights. It's like extra spooky.
Ooh. And what's cool, so we're up on the hills right behind Universal Studios. You can actually hear the tram doing its spiel right now. So it's really exciting.
Fun fact is I used to work for Universal Studios, the theme park, and I used to, you know, do fun things like get to walk on the lot. So it's really nostalgic coming back here and kind of just seeing where horror really began, because I feel like Universal is really that studio that started the horror film industry.
Oh, totally. Frankenstein's filmed here. Creature from the Black Lagoon had
Dracula.
parts here. Dracula. So all the classic horror monsters were mostly filmed here. And then, of course, you had Psycho.
So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for this Halloween horror tour of LA. Let us know if you guys like it and if you want to see more filming locations, because we love doing filming locations. If you follow our TikTok, you can find a whole bunch more. Be sure to like and subscribe. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
On Carroll Street, it's a really unique street in LA. Here, can you see me?
So just a couple blocks away, we have my favorite villain.
I'm gonna make you start over and you're not gonna say so. Do they like shake their head?
Yep.
Wait for the car.
You're good. They're turning.
Okay. I need to remember how to do it. Okay. I feel like they do like a twitch, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Start over. I've got a feeling somebody's watching me. Oh.